Hey guys, this is Steli Efti with Close.io. Today I want to teach you how to flip a question in order to close more deals and make more sales. So let's explore the power of questions and how you can actually flip them to your advantage. The other day I was talking about, telling people about this amazing hack on teaching new sales reps how to say, I don't know the answer to this question, but I'll get back to you with the accurate answer. And then I talked about how you could teach them to actually flip the question back and say, hey, in an ideal world, what would be the answer for you? What are you looking for? What would you want me to say to you? Or what would you want our product to do, et cetera, et cetera. And one of our guys here in the team, the guy's laptop, Karan's laptop is kind of on this side. I don't know if he's reading blogs or something. Can't really see what he's doing. But he was basically listening to me talking about this and saying, you know what? This kind of was bullshit, because what about this was a real hack? You just talked about being honest, teaching new sales reps to honestly admit when they don't know anything and tell people they'll get back to them. The real hack was what you were talking about later on in that video, which was the flipping the question. That's where the power is. That's where the real hack is. So inspired by that comment and feedback, I thought I'll do another really quick segment on that. What do I mean by flipping a question? So here's a scenario. You're talking to a prospect on the phone, let's say, and they ask you a question, something about your product, your service, your company, or yourself. They go, you know what, this is interesting. Tell me, how exactly does your product do X, Y, and Z? And now, instead of just immediately jumping into an answer, what you do is you ask them, you tell them, you know what, that's an interesting question. Before I go ahead and answer it, let me ask you, in a perfect world, what would you want me to say? What would be the ideal answer? What are you looking for? And when they tell you, yeah, well, I would want your product to do X, Y, Z in this way because of this and this, you dig deeper. Again, you don't stay at the surface level, you go deep. You go, oh, wow, that's interesting. Why? Why do you want it to be this way? Why is this important to you? How does this play into the larger context of things? What's your workflow like? And you actually explore the need that they had to ask that question a lot deeper before you jump ahead to give them an answer. Flipping the question will do a lot of things for you. Number one, it's going to empower you to be in a position where you actually are on the steering wheel. You actually influence the conversation, and you are the one that's leading the conversation one direction or another. And it gives you a lot more information. It allows you to fully understand the intention and the context behind the question, also the desire behind the question, before you go ahead to give them and deliver an answer. Having more information about why they want to ask that question, why they're curious about this, why they care, will help you not only to answer a lot better, but it will help you ultimately to sell them a lot more effectively. Questions are pretty powerful things. We've all grown up, being taught to answer when asked. It's kind of super conditioned in our mind. And if you actually open your eyes and open your ears in the day-to-day life, you might discover all kinds of cool shit happening around the power of questions. And I'll give you one example. Back in the day when I was 19 years old, I was running a small business, and I had a sales force of about 10, 15 people, 10, 15 salespeople working for me. I had this one super junior guy, like super junior, right? I was 19, but he was 18. And he was very inexperienced, but very energetic, a cool dude, and a good friend of mine. And every time he would call me, he would call, and he wouldn't just say, hey, Steli, blah, blah, blah. He would always call. And the first thing when I picked up the phone on the other line was, hey, where are you? And I would answer, right now I'm at home. I'm packing my stuff to head to the office. Oh, cool. And then we would continue the conversation. Next time he would call, I would pick up, and he would be like, hey, where are you? I'm like, well, I was just with a customer. Now I'm thinking about going for lunch. And then at one point, after he did that for 100 fucking times, I thought, wait a second, why the fuck does he care where I am? And he called me, and I pick up the phone, and he's like, hey, where are you? And I was like, hey, where are you? And I hear on the other end of the line, I'm thinking about going to the office. See, the magic of questions is that we all feel the urge, the subconscious urge to respond, to answer. We've been trained like Pavlov's dog, right? The bell rings, saliva, we think food is there. In this case, somebody asks a question we want to answer. And we find it impolite, we find it improper not to answer. But that's not because it's a natural law of the universe. It's because we've been conditioned and trained, typically by our parents and the school system, to answer when asked. you can use that to your advantage, and you can make sure that that isn't used against yourself and to your disadvantage if you're just aware of it. If you practice a little bit of discipline, a little bit of awareness, and you notice all these different scenarios where people ask questions and just demand an answer and get it just by simply asking it, not because they have the authority or because they necessarily have to get the answer right away. When prospects ask you a question, yeah, eventually you need to answer it, but you don't need to answer robotically, responsively, immediately. You can flip the question on them to actually take another moment to fully understand their intent, the desire, the context, why they're asking this, what are they looking for, what do they want you to say, and you can get all that information from them before you take a step and very consciously influence them and sell them. Now, you want to use this just like any other tactic. Ethically, you want to make sure that you do that authentically. You want to make sure that not every question that's been asked to you, you flip around. Hey, so I was wondering, how big is your company? Well, I'm wondering, how big do you want us to be? Well, okay, well, I'm wondering, can your product does this and this? Well, what do you want it to do? Right? Eventually, this is going to make you a huge douchebag. Just like anything else in the world, like if you overdo it, you're just going to be an idiot. Just be a normal human being, but be aware that just because you're a normal human being, you don't always have to answer any question immediately. And too many times we answer questions in a way that doesn't satisfy the listener, not because we say something they don't like, just because we didn't fully understand them and we're answering a completely different question. So make sure to use the power of question to your advantage. Make sure to play around with this, flipping the question. It's not just a business or sales thing. You can do that, with your children. You can do it with your significant other. You can do that in all kinds of different contexts where humans interact and influence each other, and kind of get a better awareness of it, of the dynamics of it, and get a better handle on your own urges and be a lot more conscious in the way that you communicate, because he or she who asks the questions leads the conversation.